Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy YBP Gang, YBP Nation, YBP Boxing, YBP MMA. Coming at y'all with another full card prediction for UFC Paris, UFC Fight Night Paris. So Ciryl Gane versus Serghei Spivac. Ciryl Gane obviously coming off the John Jones loss, and then Spivac coming off a big win versus Derek Lewis. So let's get right into the full card prediction. I think it's about starting like 10 minutes, so we just gonna try. I'll try to speed through these. Let's see, 8 minutes now. Okay, so fairn versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm going with fairn. You know, she's a good fighter. Even though she's 6-5, you know, she looked really good in the Josie and Nunes fight. She had like a 3-year hiatus. Cavalcanti, I think she has good, like, decent grappler. I'm not really sure, but they're around the same. They're both pretty well rounded, but I got to take a shot at the dog. She's just, I don't know, she's just good. I just think like women's MMA, like stuff like this happens. You know, she's gonna go in the hometown. Or I guess, I mean, like, take down the favorite. Actually, it is her hometown, so, you know, I think that's going to play in her favor there a little bit, and she's going to get off the upset dub. You know, I think she can have some success in the striking. I don't know about what the reach situation is, but they're like, I think Cavalcanti's a little taller. It's a hard fight because they're friend, like, she's pretty old, but I got faith in her. If anything, I really think the fight's gonna go the distance. I think the odds are pretty, like, they're not heavily favored to go the distance. It's like minus 130 or something like that, minus 120 maybe. So that's a good play. Next fight I have, it's Farid Basharat versus Rodrigues. I have Farid Basharat, but by decision. You know, I think it's gonna be a tougher matchup. Rodrigues is a dog out there. You know, he has heavy hands, good striking. I'm not really sure what the grappling situation this year, but he might get taken down a couple times in this matchup versus Basharat. You know, Basharat has good wrestling. Obviously, he has a twin brother. They're both doing crazy things in the UFC. Shout out to him. But, you know, I think this is going to be like his Damon Blackshear. That was a hard fight for him somewhat. But now we kind of know how good Blackshear is. So that win aged pretty well. But, yeah, I mean, Basharat seems like he struggles a little bit when, like, people are putting the pressure on him. So let's see. If Rodrigues, he could put him on the back foot. Maybe we see him get shaken up. I think with prospects like this, you just want to see him get tested, see him get some rounds in, and just see him, improve gradually. I think this is a really good step up. But I don't think this is going to be the showcase performance that a lot of people are looking at. So, yeah, give me Farid Basharat by a tough decision. Next fight, we have Norma Cornolle versus Jocelyn Edwards. I'm going to go with Jocelyn Edwards here, too. I think she has good striking here in this matchup. She's a slight favorite, actually, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, man, she knows how to win fights, but I don't know, like, and she knows how to, pull off upsets. I think people are, like, the books are starting to be keen to it. She was a big underdog in her last fight against Lucy Pudilova, got split decision. I don't think she won that fight, but she showed that she can stay in fights. She can strike. She's not just some, like, bum across the street, She's pretty good at what she does. She's going to use her length in this matchup. Decent reach, and maybe, I'm not really sure, like, what Cornolle's even, like, good at. I don't even know. She have, like, heavy hands. She's got some knockouts here, but, Edwards is good at, she could eat shots. She could stay in these fights and not get, like, absolutely clocked. So, I'm going to go with her in this matchup. And then next fight, we have loosa versus mckee. This fight, I got loosa by second round knockout. I wasn't even I wasn't familiar with the fact that like it was gonna be like a big size difference. So I'm standing next to each other, and loosa is like way shorter. But that's only gonna make him easier for him to get the takedown. Get the a submission maybe possibly, something along those lines. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think he could take, chop down the tree a little bit, use the power that he has. mckee, he's got like messed up in like 2 of his losses. Like the Morono fight, he got absolutely like dominated, and then the Hamza fight didn't look too good. He's having a little career resurgence, going to Cage Warriors and getting right back to it. But I think Loosa is a little too much for him. So give me him in that matchup. Really good fight. I'm excited for lapilus and loughran. Loughran has like the Conor McGregor hype. He has Ireland right behind him. And then Lapilus, he has all France behind him. He's a really good prospect. I think Loughran was he went from he was a big underdog. I mean, a big favorite in his last matchup in Now they had like a little like fight night switch up. Kind of like at UFC 279 when Nate was scheduled to fight Hamzat. Hamzat missed his weight, so then Hamzat fought Holland, and Nate fought Tony Ferguson in the main event. Similar to that, so, you know, loughran, I think he posted like French MMA sucks, so that's why he was so willing to take this fight. He's really brash, you know, really outspoken, you know, kind of has this like almost like a chip on his shoulder, you know, a little cocky. Bringing that bravado with him into the UFC. So, but, you know, I just think overall, like, loughran, he does some stuff well. Like, he has, like, heavy hands. He's, like, decent all around. But lapilus, like, he's battle-tested, man. He's just, like, way more well-rounded. I just think he's, like, better everywhere, like, with the striking, the ground game, all this type of stuff. Like, he deserves to be the favorite. I think he's bigger in the matchup. Oh, no, they were, like, around the same size. I'm not even going to lie. Yeah, neither of them, I mean, these bantamweights are starting to look like lightweights at this point. But, you know, loughran, I mean, he always had that, like, potential to get the knockout, too. But even lapilus hits pretty hard, so I don't know. I got to go with the favorite here, lapilus, see how the fans are on it. It would be cool to see loughran, like, win. You know, that would be really, like, interesting. But I got to go with lapilus. Next fight, Morgan Charriere versus Manolo Zecchini. Charriere, I don't really know, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I just try to be consistent with the prediction videos, but I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've been straight away from like doing even like research for the videos, unless it's like a video solely focused on one thing. But so actually, if you're watching this video, don't take my picks with any like meaning. Obviously, I'm gonna flaunt them if I go like 12 or 11 for 11, but I didn't do research apart from like the main card. That's what I feel like really good about. Even the main cards, only some of the fights. But these debutants, like the people who haven't debuted, I have no idea. Never seen them in the UFC. So I'm just kind of taking a guess. And also just hearing what other people are saying. I'm hearing a lot of people like they like Morgan Charriere. He seems like a good prospect. A lot of people are pretty heavy on him. Don't know that much about either guy, but you know, 3-1 favorite in his hometown. I think a lot of the French guys are gonna have a good time out here, like winning the fights, doing pretty well. Obviously having that home court advantage, and getting the win. You know, I think this is a card where they're kind of showcasing French MMA, even in the main event. You know, but I think the main event's it's not a good matchup for the French guy there. But I mean, Morgan Charriere by third round knockout. William Gomis. Okay, I actually like Gomis. You know, I don't know why people are fading him or why they're like he fights kind of weird. You know, he fights. How do I say it? He leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to these rounds. Like he's definitely a split decision. Just like the way he fights, like he kind of leaves like the judges kind of gotta. It's hard to score his fight sometimes. You know, we saw in the last fight, Francis Marshall fight. He got that win obviously, but the way he be fighting, like the striking, it's all good, you know. But he just doesn't do enough to like really leave a mark on the judges. So. Any opponent that he goes against, like, might have a chance to beat him. I'm going to pick him in the spot. I picked him against Francis Marshall. I love his striking. I love that he's working with Ciryl Gane. I love the work that he's putting in. I think ghemmouri has, like, decent grappling. I'm not sure. I think he hits probably a little harder in this matchup. So, I don't know if I'd necessarily, like, if you were betting, like, bet minus 210 on Gomis. This would probably be, like, a pick 'em maybe. Or, like, maybe, like, minus 150. But the pick, like, if I was just going to go 50-50 odds. No taking like betting into it. I'm going Gomis. I like how he fights somewhat. He keeps it safe. He tries not to get too much in danger. And but he's a split decision fighter. You know, like that's definitely the bet when it goes to him. You know. Yeah. So give me Gomis. Next one, we got Volkan Oezdemir versus Bogdan Guskov. I'm actually going with the underdog, and Bogdan Guskov did a little research on this too. You know, Guskov, man, I've seen his highlights, man. He hits hard, man. I mean, I don't know, like, it's hard to say, you know, because he hasn't fought the best competition. And obviously, Volkan Oezdemir, he's been, you know, fought for a title at some point, but he's on a downward slope. You know what I'm saying? Like I picked him to lose, I think, against Krylov. But yeah, he's just been like on a losing streak, just on like a downward slope. He's pretty chinny. I think it's not a bad stylistic matchup for Guskov. Like if they just stand in the middle and bang, I like Guskov's chances to get it done. He's buff. He's like really strong. They're like around the same dimensions, around the same height. Guskov's even a little bigger. So he's younger in this matchup as well. Guskov is. He's a new guy on the block. I think it's perfect for him to come in here and just shake a storm. On paper, like Volkan should be winning these fights, but these short notice. I mean, not short notice, but these guys who are coming in. There's a reason why Bogdan Guskov is in the UFC, why he's competing at this level. You look at guys like Steve Erceg who come in on short notice. He's not. Obviously, he probably would take it the call against because it's such a big opportunity, but there's got to be a reason why he's fighting Volkan Oezdemir, why the UFC thinks that this is a good matchup, and I think he goes out here and shows it. So, give me Bogdan Guskov to knock out Volkan Oezdemir in round 1. Co-main event, we have Benoit Saint-Denis versus Thiago Moises. I'm going Thiago Moises. It's kind of like a gut pick, if anything. I like Benoit Saint-Denis. He has good grappling, but and his striking isn't even that bad. I just think like Moises, he's a veteran, knows how to win fights. Benoit Saint-Denis, this is like a really big moment for him. Like in front of his fans, in front of the fight. Let's think he's gonna kind of mess it up for himself, maybe choke a little bit, and Moises keep it on the feet, hit him with some punches. I think it just becomes a striking matchup, and Moises is gonna get the better of him. I think Benoit Saint-Denis might start to take some chances. He was like winging like big shots against was he? I don't even know if he was. If I'm remembering that Bonfim fight, like he was like swinging hard. He does take a lot of risks. So I think if Moises can defend the takedowns and then keep it on the feet, stay composed, get out of the way of those big punches, he has a path to victory. So give me him by decision. Next fight, we have Manon Fiorot versus Rose Namajunas. Oh wow. Okay, they adding time now. Oh no, we're 2 minutes after. Okay, never mind. I'm not changing my predictions though. Manon Fiorot versus Rose Namajunas. I'm gonna go with Manon Fiorot in this matchup too. Manon, I mean, she hits way harder. She's way bigger in this matchup. The speed advantage definitely goes to Rose though, I think, in this matchup, but Manon's just massive. You see them stand next to each other. You can see the muscle difference. I just don't think. I think when Rose moved up, she didn't do it badly. It wasn't like Jones moved up to heavyweight. I think she did it like in a decent way. Even Jones. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's not to go up from light heavyweight to heavyweight. I think he could have taken more time to really like build that frame. But he submitted just Gane and won. He's got to be doing something right. But Rose, you could just tell that's not her division. I don't know why she did it. It's just a weird decision, and then to move up and go against someone like Manon Fiorot, she's gonna get beat at her own game here. I think she might even get taken down. It's just the size is gonna be an issue. I think it seems. I mean, she's done the best that she could. To try to put on the muscle, put on the weight, to make it like feasible for her to do something, but she's not gonna have the advantages that made her special. At was it strawweight? Yeah, I think so. She's just gonna be a regular old, girl with the name, essentially at 125. So, honestly, I'm thinking like third round knockout, even, something like a finish. I think Manon's gonna really make a statement. Not to mention Manon she's French, so she's gonna have all the people behind her. So, yeah, I think this is an easy fight for Manon Fiorot. Very good stylistic matchup for her, and she makes it look easy against Rose Namajunas. Main event, Ciryl Gane versus Serghei Spivac. I gotta go with Serghei Spivac by round 2 submission. I was on the front lines. I was defending Gane. I was saying Gane is gonna submit. No, sorry, Gane is gonna finish John Jones. He's gonna cook him. He's gonna decision him. I think my pick was Gane by decision. He's gonna school Jones. Jones is slow. He can't. And honestly, all those things were true. I didn't really like Jones' striking there. I mean, Gane's execution out there, his shot selection. The first shot he throws is a low shot. He didn't really put the pressure on Jones like he should have. We didn't really get to see much of anything from him. And his takedown defense was horrendous. Submission defense. Didn't even know how to fight hands in that matchup. It still irks me to this day. I wrote for that guy so much. I've never been more confident in someone. Even though it was Jones, I was like, there's just no way. I mean, 3 years off. We saw Cejudo come back. 3 years off, loses to Aljo. I thought that was a really good performance by Aljamain Sterling. Shout out to him. It sucks he lost to Sean O'Malley. It's like he did all that and then everything just comes crumbling down. But nonetheless, I was riding for Gane. I'm prefacing that because I'm one of Gane's biggest supporters. It's not like I'm biased or anything. Like, I want to see this guy lose. Like, I don't. I'm a little pissed about that fight, but I'd love to see him succeed. He's a good guy out there. He gives me GSP vibes. He's a nice person, well-spoken on the mic. Could be a model one day, looks good. He'd be good as a heavyweight champion of the world. But, some of the stuff he talks about really concerns me. When he talks about, being lazy in between camps, I really doubt that he, between this fight and now that fight, he looks so bad and atrocious in that Jones fight. I don't care how good Jones is. Like, to not fight the hands, like, it was just hopeless out there, man, for him. Like, it looked like he didn't even want to be there. Like, it was bad, man. I don't know. Like, the pressure really got to him. Like, that was just not good. And this is a similar matchup for him. Spivac's actually big. I thought Spivac would be shorter than Gane. He's like, they're staring at each other, So, like, the size, I'm even more confident now, man. Spivac, he might even submit him in round 1. This is going to be easy. This is going to be the Gane Jones 2, You look at, I saw like Spivac and Jones were going like back and forth. Not back and forth, but like they were like shaking hands and acknowledging each other. Shot like a fake takedown. Like, they're around the same size, man. I'm just saying, it's hard to know. Gane and Rose are like the two biggest storylines on this matchup. Rose is probably the most popular fighter on this card, but both of them, I don't know what to expect from him. I honestly think on Gane's best night, if he actually executes a game plan, he beats Jones any day. And that you guys can watch my Stipe Miocic. I really don't. I don't think Jones is like that all that good at heavyweight. I think that was a very like it was a, what is that word? It was like the perfect storm. Everything just kind of came together and he got that matchup. But I think he loses to Aspinall. I think because he hasn't hit relatively hard. I think he's gonna, like, the Miocic fight is gonna be tougher than people think. He probably gets the win there. I don't know, but it's gonna be tough. In that fight. And then, if he ever fights Serghei, he's going to struggle there. I think Blades beats him, all these matchups, for Jones at heavyweight. But he's not the topic. We're talking about Ciryl Gane, Serghei Spivac. Obviously, on the feet, it's going to be hard for, like, Spivac's not going to be able to, get the better of Gane, like, in that regard, like, on the feet. But he has a decent jab. He can stay in this fight, relatively enough to get Gane in the clinch, put him up against the cage, get the takedown, and look for a submission, And he does a really good job of these, like, mat returns, He'll, like, really test your cardio. I think for a guy, like, of his size, like, he has pretty decent cardio there. So he's gonna grind on Gane, get a takedown, get him, a little back up and throw him right back to the ground, and do it again and again and again. People are saying, like, oh, Gane's athleticism, all that type of stuff. Hey, man, if you don't have the skill, the athleticism is not going to help you much, man. At that point, then you're just, like, you have all these muscles, but, you can't, use that to your advantage. You have to have the skill to actually apply the athleticism, apply, these methods so you can, use your athleticism to your advantage. You just got to know your body type. So I think in this matchup, he's just going to tire out Gane and eventually get the submission in round 2. I think what's certain is that this fight's not going long. It's definitely not going to be like a 5-round war. It's going to end in like 2 or 3. Whether it's Gane knocking Spivac out in but if Gane knocks Spivac out, I think it happens in like round 3. Whereas if Spivac submits him, I think it's like round 1 or 2. I think it definitely happens more quick. But that's the breakdown right there. Leave a like on the video, subscribe. Peace out, Moscow. You know what it is.